Well, John, it's been a bit.
You know what? It's been a nice respite. Nah, I miss you, buddy. I really do. I mean, we joke and we kid. We've been getting some nice feedback from folks though that they do like the banter, so I guess we should keep it up.
I just got a letter from a fan.
Oh, we have a fan writing
Yeah,
fan letters?
Richard Fetter from Fort Lee, New Jersey.
I don't know. Well, he's near me, but I don't know Richard.
I love your YouTube channel, especially the high production values and Cole's wit, intelligence, great looks, and flowing hair. Signed,
He did not say all
Richard
that.
Fetter. Yeah,
He said all that,
Richard
but
Fetter
he actually commented on your flowing
from
hair.
Fort
Or do you think he was
Fort
maybe
Lee, New
talking about
Jersey.
me?
Fort Lee, New Jersey. So we've returned from the Faroes and had a
Not
actually
the not the not to be confused with the Pharaohs. Go
it
ahead.
is interesting that everybody whom they'll say, "Oh, where you been?" I go, "Oh, the Faroe Islands." They nod their head. I go, "Oh, yeah." And I've started saying, "You don't have any idea where that's at, do you?"
That's
And they'll
so
go, "No,
true.
I don't."
It's so true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, it's between Norway and Iceland, 18 little islands out in the middle of the North Atlantic.
How do
And
we
we,
say it? It's an archipelago.
oh, I don't know.
Remember? It's an
I've heard that.
archipelago of 18 islands. I don't remember we learned that. Well, boy, you are a short
I don't
memory.
remember that.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So let's see. Oh, so we had great weather. It was
Oh,
unusually sunny and actually warm, warm by their standards.
yeah, 60.
High 60s sometimes, and people were dying.
It was so funny, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah. I had a very very nice time. Very good group as always.
Really good group. Excellent.
Yeah, and good photographers and sturdy people. We did
Yes.
big hikes and some uh, boy going to Meechness Island. It was quite the hike going up and down, and
That whole group did that. It was incredible. We had only one, who's had some serious medical challenges, so we understood that one. But some of those, you and I think if we were betting people, would have said three of the others that went up would never have made it, and they made it. They did even the big hike around the other side, which they've made you do now, which is a little frustrating that they make you stay with the group. But
yeah.
we still did okay there at Meechness.
And something happened. We were out photographing the troll's finger. And there's this
Yep.
spot where we go, and we got a pretty good view of, I guess we call it the front side.
Yep.
And I've shot that before and gotten an image that I liked. And then you showed me one by that lady,
Huibo.
Who.
Yep.
And it's like, oh my gosh, there's a shot. And you feel all of a sudden what an image that you loved of your own suddenly is diminished because you saw somebody's who you liked even more. So I
Yeah.
wanted to talk about that.
Okay.
Uh, we've all shot things that other people have shot. And what happens when you like an image of yours, but later find someone did one you like even more?
Yeah.
How does that change your view? How do you feel about your image and how does it change your view of it?
Boy, I did not see this coming. And folks just who are watching, we don't set these up. We just really have honest conversations. You
Well,
know,
you experienced that. Have you
yeah,
ever?
I guess I have to be honest and say, my initial gut reaction is it's it's uncomfortable when I see it. I mean, when I saw that image of hers, that's what I've been chasing every single time back. And that's not, when you think about what we talk about, Cole, that's wrong. It's the wrong approach. I mean, I should be just grateful for what is given to me that day. And as a professional expressionist photographer, I should be able to take what's given me and do something with it. And to answer your specific question, though, you're asking, what happens to me with so let's take your situation specifically. You had an image you liked, you saw Weebos, and you went, ah, crap, that's like really great. Theoretically, I would say you should still love your image because you
Well,
did in the first place.
it changed my opinion of my work based on external factors, which I'm in general disagreement with. I don't believe
Correct.
we should evaluate our images based on what others are doing or what others think. But jealousy is the first thing that comes to my mind. Oh my gosh, why didn't I get it? And let's face it, with a shot like that, a lot of it's weather dependent. But I'll bet you anything, if we saw her raw file, her before and after, we'd find that it wasn't a glorious day. It was probably an average day where she created something glorious out of it.
Uh, no, I know her work and I know her processing, and that's true, right? It wasn't exactly what's there. She did a fair amount of processing to do that, but nonetheless, that shouldn't even factor in, right? But so let's go back to some of the key things we talk about on this show. Comparison is the thief of joy. Teddy Roosevelt. And so this whole comparison thing, we've said it a million times. I say it in every lecture I do now. I use that quote, and this fits perfectly here. You're in that comparison mode of hers is better than mine, according to whom? Well, you at that moment, obviously, because you're having some angst about seeing that image. But boy, it steals all the joy you had of something that, and I know you well enough, Cole, that if you processed an image from that location and you said I liked it and you've shared it, that means a lot because I know that you will never share an image that you don't love. You just won't do it. It's part of the tenets, if you will, of your, you know, producing honest work, celibate, life with regard to photography, and not comparing. So, but nonetheless, you're human.
We're human. And I'm going to use this as a segue to our next episode where I want to talk about something related to creating an image and living with it. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
But yeah, that's the only shot I've ever seen of hers. And wow.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
extra. And Huibo is a great person and a really wonderful photographer. Her style, because I am not celibate, I've looked at many of her images. It has a very similar feel to your work, honestly, and Chuck Kimmerly's work. You can see some either, I don't know if that's influence there or if it's purely her vision, but I enjoy her work tremendously. But back to the Faroes, it's interesting. That was my fourth time. Yeah, fourth time there. You're like sixth or seventh or something. So just curious, how is the Faroes resonating with you six times in?
Well, I don't want to speak to it photographically, but otherwise, my wife and I spoke a lot about how wonderful it is to live in a world where you don't have to lock doors, close windows at night. There's no graffiti, children working at 14, kids riding their bikes anywhere along the city, parents not worried about them, mothers leaving babies in carriages out in front of a restaurant as they eat.
Yeah,
It's a wonderful place. And I'm sure I've been there enough to know it is a wonderful place. And I know there's probably issues like every place has an issue, but
sure.
how refreshing it was just to stay there and to be amongst those people. And
Yeah,
someone did write me and ask me, she said she had to cancel on our last trip and
yeah.
she wants to go, but she would never go alone because she's worried about the language barrier. And I said, in the
There
six
is
times
none.
I've gone, I think I've met three people, all very older people, who
Yes.
didn't speak very fluent English.
Yes.
So it's a very friendly to American place.
No language barrier there. I'm just having a thought. Maybe we can do this for another episode too. But the idea of repeated opportunity at locations. And so I think I'll leave it at that. But I
Yeah,
certainly have some feelings about my fourth time back there. And let's leave that for another show as well.
yeah,
So,
that would be a good one to follow
yeah.
up.
So, and
Okay.
by the way, for those who have actually stayed this long, which is, I think, according to the metrics, like three people, the three of you who have stayed this long, we will be going back to the Faroe Islands. We don't have a specific time yet for next year. It'll be in the July, August time frame again. We like going at that time frame because it's potentially warmer. So if you're interested, as always, shoot me an email and I'll put you on a list to be notified first, but we'd love to have you along. So,
And before
yep.
we close, if anyone happens to know Mr. Richard Fetter from Fort Lee, New Jersey, please leave a note in the comments.
Hey, that'd be great. Yeah. And Richard, thanks so much for the kind comment and thanks for watching. We appreciate it. Take good care, folks. We'll see you on the next show.